welcome back to the Voices of History. I'm Brielle, and this is my partner in history crime, Kaden.
That's right, Brielle. Today we're talking about some seriously game-changing moments in American history. I mean, things got really complicated real fast. We're talking about states' rights, the Civil War, and all the drama that led up to it.
Oh, you mean history's version of reality TV? Because let me tell you, it was all about drama, the plot twists, and of course, the big decisions that made the country what it is today.
Absolutely. Let's kick things off with states' rights. You know, back then it was all about whether states had the right to govern themselves. Some southern states said, hey, we don't like the way the feds are running things, so we're gonna peace out.
Yeah, they were like, we're just gonna secede from the Union, thanks. Which, if you ask me, is a bit of a dramatic move. Like throwing a temper tantrum when you can't get the last cookie in the jar. Spoiler, it didn't work out too well for
Oof, but before that, there was a compromise of 1850, which was Congress's attempt of trying to play peacemaker. They admitted California as a free state, but then, surprise, they passed a stronger Fugitive Slave Act. Kind of like giving a little, but then taking a lot back, huh?
Yeah, like you can have one cookie, but only if you agree to give me all the snacks in exchange. Not quite the fair trade, but it sure did keep tensions high.
And speaking of tensions, the Dred Scott decision in 1857 was a real game changer. You've got Dred Scott, an enslaved man who says, hey, I lived in free territories, so shouldn't I be free? And the Supreme Court was like, nah, you're not a citizen.
Ouch, talk about a slam dunk, except it was a dunk in the wrong direction. The decision basically said, oh, you thought you had rights, guess what? It really stirred the pot.
Right? And then came Bleeding Kansas. And no, it's not the title of a new horror movie. It was a period of violent clashes between pro-slavery and anti-slavery groups. Think of it like the worst road trip ever, with mobs and a lot of bloodshed.
I'm just picturing people showing up with picket signs that say, make Kansas safe again, and then immediately turning things into chaos. It's just like they couldn't decide whether to compromise or compete in the Hunger Games.
And then, to make everything even more intense, we have John Brown's raids. This guy decides to raid a federal army at Harper's Ferry in 1859. He was hoping to spark a massive slave rebellion.
Yeah, it turns out that was a big no-go. John Brown's plan didn't exactly blow up the way he'd hoped. In fact, it was more of a bad reality show finale. He got caught, tried, and, spoiler alert, he was executed.
Honestly, the man was a martyr for his cause, and it didn't help things cool down one bit. In fact, it just added more fuel to the fire.
Which brings us to the next big turning event, Lincoln's election in 1860. If you thought things were heated before, the temperature just skyrocketed when Lincoln got elected. He wasn't even invited to the Southern States party.
Oh, they were not having it. So much so that several states said, you know what, we're out of here. And just like that, the South started to secede from the Union.
I mean, whoa, they really pulled the plug on the whole Union thing. 11 states decided to break away and form the Confederate States of America, setting the stage for the big showdown we all know as the Civil War.
And to think, it all started with a bunch of guys sitting around in rooms, passing laws and making decisions. Imagine if they had Twitter back then. The drama would have been off the charts.
Right? It would have been all over the timeline. Breaking. Southern states not impressed by Lincoln's platform had hashtag secession, hashtag Civil War incoming.
For real. Anyway, that's where we're going to leave it for today. So, to sum it up, the tension over states' rights, slavery, and power struggles led to some pretty major events, all of which pushed the country into the Civil War.
And I gotta say, even though it was a pretty intense period, it sure makes for a good history, as long as we're learning from it.
Totally. All right, that's all for today's History Tea. Join us next time for more historical deep dives with a side of puns.
Thanks for tuning in to History Unfiltered. Stay curious, stay punny, and remember, history is always better with a little humor.
Catch you later, history buffs.
See ya! Hey everyone, welcome back to the Voices of History. I'm Brielle and this is my partner in crime, History Crime. What? Sorry.
Ooh, but before that, there was a compromise of 1850, which was Congress in 1859. He was hoping to spark a massive slave rebellion. Oh, they were not having it. So much so that several states said, you know what, we're out of here. And just like that, the South started to secede from the Union.